Right. Good morning again, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to edX Expo 2026, second day of the exhibition at BMICH. So we are heading to the first panel discussion with truly and meaningful collaboration with UTS Sri Lanka, which is a trusted education partner in Sri Lanka, and UTS Sri Lanka has collaborated with edX for a long time. So with that meaningful collaboration, let's go for the discussion. So ladies and gentlemen, today's topic will be benefits of transnational education pathways to Australia with UTS College Sri Lanka. So this session focuses on a topic many parents consider today. Transnational education pathways to Australia and how institutions like UTS College Sri Lanka provide a safe, structured and cost-effective entry into a world-class higher education. Studying in Australia is a dream for many, but it comes with financial and emotional challenges if students go straight after school. So ladies and gentlemen, without taking much time, let's go for the panel discussion. So we have three distinguished guests from UTS Sri Lanka. Let me introduce the panel for the day. We have Mr. Hasitha Fernando. Mr. Hasitha Fernando heads the sales and marketing of UTS College of Sri Lanka. Then we have Ms. Anuttara Ketaki Marasinghe. She serves as the manager visa services for UTS College Sri Lanka. And we have our final guest for the panel discussion, Mr. Sahad Rasik. He serves as a visiting lecturer for UTS College Sri Lanka. So ladies and gentlemen, we believe for sure this will be a kind of a very interesting topic for the day. So I would like to start the panel discussion with Mr. Hasitha on the section of understanding transnational education. So Mr. Hasitha, first question, let's start from you. Could you explain what transnational education is and how it differs from traditional study abroad model? Just to start with our discussion, we would like to hear from you, sir. Yeah.
Yes, Praveen. So transnational education is education programs where students can earn a foreign qualification without relocating themselves to that awarding institution's country for the full duration of the program. So in other words, education cross borders, students may not. So technically, in the TNE models, there are few common models. One is online blended learning. The other one is branch campus delivery, fully on branch campus delivery. And then articulations and pathway programs like 1+2, 2+2 programs. And also, there are programs fully franchised. The local institution has a right to deliver foreign qualification full the completion in Sri Lanka. So these are the common models under transnational education. So UTS College Sri Lanka falls under the fully owned branch campus model. So we are a fully owned campus of University of Technology, Sydney. In order to answer to the next part of the question, how it's different to going directly abroad and studying. So there are many benefits and differences. So basically, if a student wants to go directly and study abroad, there are some challenges they have to prepare. Like it'll be a whole new culture, whole new country, a whole new educational system that they need to get adapted to. You have to prepare yourself for visa as a direct candidate. But if you're a pathway student, if you're a student who studied at a TNE, Transnational Education College model or campus, you will first get to know how the Australian education system works, how to prepare for exams, how to prepare for that assessment mode. For example, now in Sri Lankan curriculum, Sri Lankan A-levels or in the A-level and O-level London curriculum, you basically go into a written paper. Your marks are assessed by written paper or a practical, right? Written paper plus a practical for some certain subjects. But if you look at the transnational education or the Australian education system, it's quite different to that. So you have assignments, presentations, quizzes, group work. So we call it continuous assessment mode, plus written exams as well. So you get to know how the system works before you go. And also when it comes to visa, when you're a transnational student, you have completed part of an Australian university degree in Sri Lanka and you're applying to continue the rest of your degree in Australia. So how you get assessed, how your profile being looked at is different to when you're applying directly, right? This is by the High Commission I'm referring to. So it's a plus point because High Commission knows that this student is a committed student and shown interest in studying. So that's one of the key things that they look at when they grant a student visa. And also selection of options, because when you are in a TNE program, you don't need to select your bachelor's, the final degree, at the same time you start the course. You have about a year or two to decide which major you're going to go for. So that's another plus point when you're studying at a transnational education without going directly. When you're going directly, you have to make a choice. Okay, I'm going for example, let's say I'm going for cybersecurity, right? But when you start the program, because these are all students after A-levels and O-levels, so even you do a bit of research, but when you go there and start, you might find, okay, this is not what I really want to do, and this is really tough, right? So and then they want to change. So it's best that they have a bit of a taste of the program that they are going to do before they fly to Australia, which help them to understand, okay, this is what I'm going to face when I go to Australia, and this is my study pathway. So which helps them to think better and make a really good decision without happening to change it later on when you go there. So these are some of the challenges and benefits of going abroad versus studying a part of the degree in Sri Lanka.
So thank you, Mr. Hasta. I think it was a very detailed explanation and it clears a lot of mindset gaps in our audience. Thank you very much for the explanation. So let's move to Mr. Sahad. So Mr. Sahad, this will be from the area of academic quality and support at UTS College Sri Lanka. So let's begin as like this. So how closely aligned is the UTS College Sri Lanka curriculum with UTS Sydney in terms of content, assessments, and learning outcomes? I think you are the right person to get that information. So let's begin from there.
Yeah, that's an excellent question to tick off our discussion on academic aspects. Our curriculum at UTS College Sri Lanka is a mirror image of UTS Sydney's programs. So how aligned is it? It's 100%. So we are talking about identical content, identical learning outcomes, and even the same rigorous assessments. So this ensures our students hit the ground running when they transition from Sri Lanka to Australia. And we have seen our students performing excellently because of the fact that our programs align 100% with Sydney's programs. And it's all about that seamless pathway to one of Australia's top young universities.
Right. Thank you, Mr. Sahad. Ms. Kedake, we would like to hear from you on the section of financial benefits for Sri Lankan students. So our question to you is, one major concern for families is cost, right? So how does studying at UTS College Sri Lanka offer significant financial savings? I think we have heard this across the industries. UTS, that is how UTS differentiate from the other institutes. So let's have that discussion with you. Yeah.
Yes, one of the biggest advantage that we have is our students can study their foundation and diploma here at UTS College Sri Lanka, and they can straight away transfer to their second year at University of Technology Sydney. So they can study the the same curriculum, and also they can gain the same learning outcome by studying at UTS College Sri Lanka. And of course, let's say if they study a foundation in Australia, it will cost you around 7 million in Sri Lankan currency. And for the diploma, the first year of the degree at a top 100 university will cost definitely around 10 million in Sri Lankan currency. By studying both foundation and diploma in Sri Lanka for UTS College, it will only cost you around 1.5 million in rupees. So it is even less than 1/10 of the cost that you are studying in Australia. So it's going to be a huge financial savings for the families who choose this pathway program.
Right, thank you very much. So I would like to hear from Mr. Hasitar on the section, first section still. So Mr. Hasitar, I would like to get the understanding from you, from your experience, what are the key advantages of studying an Australian degree pathway in Sri Lanka rather than going directly overseas? I think we already discussed about this in a little bit, but we would like to elaborate it more for our audience actually.
Yes, Praveen. So basically, if you study an Australian transfer program in Sri Lanka, and when you're transferring to Australia, you are well prepared academically and also psychologically, plus in terms of the culture, you get a bit of a taste of how the Australian culture works, right? So because you do have Australian subject coordinators and faculty coming over to meet our students on campus, so you get a bit of a taste on that as well. And when it comes to studies, for example, like you will be in classrooms where we keep maximum student number at 20. So that's a really good thing where, because from local A-levels to or London A-levels to O-levels to an Australian program, it's a bit of a transition, like there's a big difference. So in order to go through that transition smoothly, we make sure every student get individual attention. So that's why we have kept the class size 20, and we make sure they become independent learners by the end of the program when they transfer to Australia. So that's our main objective, and that's why University of Technology Sydney has set up certain standards. And the other thing is we follow the Australian qualification framework curriculum here, and also the same standards, the quality in Sri Lanka. So that's another plus point when students join a transnational education provider like UTS College, where they can progress to Australia smoothly after studying for about 8 to 16 months. And also, I would like to mention about the visa success rate as well, because when you study in an Australian institution, you complete part of your studies, and when you transfer to Australia, after completing a pathway like that, High Commission the High Commission has certain criteria when they grant an Australian student visa, so they evaluate certain criteria. By studying it locally, part of the degree locally, it actually meets a couple of main criteria, and that helps students to secure a student visa, I would say easily, but there are other things which actually we have to look at, like for example finances and documentation, which is very important. But in general, this is a very good plus point for students when they transfer to Australia after completing a TNE program, like a transnational program. Yes.
Thank you very much, Mr. Asser. So let's move to Mr. Sahat. So Mr. Sahat, what kind of academic support systems are available for students especially those transitioning from local school curricula, because we know in Sri Lankan culture is we have two types of schools, international plus local school. So how you are dealing with that? Just tell us.
I think all of us know that there is a big student population coming out of local school curricula. So at UTS College, we have a robust support system for all the students, especially for students transitioning from local school curricula to an international curriculum at UTS College. So if you take our foundation program, it is specifically designed for such students to improve their reading, learning, and writing skills. We also provide them with online resources through our learning management system, Canvas. Students can access these resources at any time they want. They can go through it at their own pace. So that's the biggest advantage they have. And additionally, we also provide walk-in support sessions. We call them walk-in support sessions, where students can come in, ask their questions, and leave. This is for subject-related matters. So we have subject experts providing support for the students when they start their courses at UTS College. So these are some of the things that some of the initiatives UTS College has taken to support students transitioning from local school curricula into an international curriculum. We have seen students who have gone through us seamlessly and smoothly transitioning from local school curricula to our curriculum.
Yeah, I think Mr. Zahar, the message is clear to our audience. So thank you very much for the explanation. So Ms. Ketaki, so just tell us, just explain us how students can reduce tuition fees and living expenses by completing part of their degree in Sri Lanka. We would like to hear from you.
Yes, when it comes to living expenses, of course, when they are studying in their first year and the foundation in Sri Lanka, they can significantly save their living expenses, other study-related expenses that they have to bear in Australia. In addition to that, especially we have special scholarship programs for our students. Locally, when they are starting their foundation or diploma, we will be giving up to 50% scholarships based on their O-level and A-level results. And also, when they are transferring to Australia, if they are going ahead with their foundation, we will be giving 7,000 Australian dollars scholarship per annum. And also for the diploma, it's going to be 20% guaranteed pathway scholarship. So this is not a merit-based one. So this is like for sure everyone can get this, like everyone can get the benefit of this scholarship. So let's say as an example, if a student going for a 3-year program, they will be studying the first year in Sri Lanka, and they are going for the 2 years in Australia. So their financial saving will be somewhere around 4 million in Sri Lankan rupees. And if it is a program like engineering or honors, it's going to be a 4-year program. So they will definitely study 3 years in Australia. In that aspects, their financial saving going to be around 6 million. So this will be a very good option for parents who are like planning their financials before, and they can get a very good savings when they are going ahead with this pathway program.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Ketika. I think lovely inputs to our audience actually. So I would like to take the panel discussion for the section 2 with Mr. Hasita. So, Mr. Hasita, this will be based on Australia as a study destination and pathways. So, we have 2 questions. I would like to club them together. So, let's have in that scenario. So, first question will be, we know Australia remains a top study destination for Sri Lanka students, right? So, what makes Australia education globally recognized and valuable? That will be our first question. And then secondly, we would like to know, how do pathway programs prepare students for academic rigor of Australian universities?
Yes, Praveen. So Australia is one of the top education destinations in the world, and it's very popular among Sri Lankan students. So there are about 43 universities in Australia, like 40 public universities and 3 private universities. In terms of global rankings, around 20% of Australian universities are ranked within the top 100 globally. So that's so that's actually says a lot about Australian quality of education. And they do have one of the toughest regulatory bodies for education, like TESCA, AQF and all that. So to make sure the quality of education delivered by Australian universities are basically monitored properly, and also looking at universities programs that their graduate employability is very high. For example, UTS is ranked top 5 for graduate employability in Australia and 62nd in the world in QS rankings. And the curriculum, they keep updating and then make sure it's job ready and pretty much hands-on. So that's why Australian university programs are quite sought after, because of the employability as well as acceptance worldwide. So employers worldwide do recognize Australian qualification, Australian graduates, and they have a high regard about Australian qualifications. So that's one of the plus points. And academic rigor, how we prepare students before they go to Australia. I think as Mr. Sahad well explained, it's not like what we do usually in Sri Lanka, like in our education system up to A levels, because we study for about a year or two and then go for a 3-hour paper for each module, right? But this is different. Like they get assessed weekly. They have weekly assignments, quizzes, group work, projects, presentations. So it actually improves the soft skills of our students as well. How to present, how to analyze data, how to do assignments, about academic writing, like how to do referencing, how to do research, like how to go through journal articles or research papers and extract data. So starting with those things, like which are very basic academic skills, right? We prepare them. So that's why they become very successful when they go to Australia. For example, we have 3 batches graduated already, and we are so happy to mention that most of them, about 80% of them, they have really good grades, like second upper, first class honors, likewise, right? And distinctions in their bachelors. So we are very proud of it. That's because of the training, then support that they get through our lecture panel. So Mr. Sahad also part of our lecture panel. So and also because of the Australian education system and the standards that we maintain. So yeah, I think I answered the both questions.
Thank you, Mr. Astar. So, Mr. Sahad, so we would like to deep dive into UTS college and to understand how we differentiate from other institutes. So, just tell us, how do class sizes, teaching methods, and lecture accessibility at UTS College Sri Lanka benefit our students?
Class sizes, as Mr. Hassan told previously, we have intentionally kept them to very small class sizes. Our maximum number is 20. We don't go beyond that. And the reason is that enables us to provide them with personalized attention. That is something you won't get in a larger setting. In terms of could you repeat that question? Class sizes and?
Yeah, so question to you was, how do class sizes, teaching methods,
yes,
and
lecture accessibility.
Correct. Yeah.
Yes. So teaching method, our teaching is interactive. We use problem-based learning and real-life examples. So this is a complete shift from rote learning in local schools. And our lecturers are accessible, highly accessible. And we have seen how they develop confidence in our students for critical thinking and creative skills. So this has enabled our students to actually perform well. And for students, especially as you said, for students coming out of local schools, it has been transformative. Okay, I think that's the word. So they have gone from passive learners to active innovators. And we have seen the results, not only in Sri Lanka, but after they go to Sydney as well.
Right. Thank you very much, sir. So, Ms. Ketaki, before going to the question, I would like to set the context like this now. You know, when dealing in Sri Lanka, still Sri Lanka is not kind of a very developed country. We are in the developing state. So, before planning this kind of transformation study network, because especially in kind of a country like Sri Lanka, finance comes to a place where we really need to focus. So, just tell us, Ms. Ketaki, how does this pathway help families better plan finances before sending students to Australia?
Yes, that's obvious. So when it comes to UTS College Sri Lanka, we do have an in-house visa advisory team, whereas you can get the visa advice from the day one that you start your program in UTS College. So we are having frequently workshops, one-to-one consultation sessions for parents, and we'll be giving them proper understanding about the visa requirements, financial requirements, and the requirements and the rules set by the Australian government and the Higher Commission of Australia. So when it comes to the Australian government and the Australian High Commission, they have specific requirements for the financials. I would say now when it comes to the finances, they have a joint fund requirement. We simply say it as joint funds. So here what we have to show is their first year living cost, first year tuition fee, and the traveling cost. Altogether, this comes to somewhere around 16 million in Sri Lankan currency. And the students' parents should show this in their financial accounts as liquid cash. We can show it as a FD or a savings. So, and this should be mature more than 6 months by the time of applying for the visa. So from the day one, we will be guiding our students, and especially we are giving a document checklist, sample letters, templates, and we give the right guidance how to make the required documents. And also this program is like 8 months, so they do have more than enough time to plan their financials. So,
right. Thank you very much. So, ladies and gentlemen, with that note, we are heading to section 3 of the panel discussion with Mr. Hasita. So, Mr. Hasita, in this discussion, we will be focusing on UTS College Sri Lanka as a TNE pathway. So, to start with the conversation, what makes UTS College Sri Lanka unique compared to other transnational education providers in Sri Lanka? We have seen a lot of same category of providers in Sri Lanka, but we know UTS, when it comes to that transnational education, what comes first in our mind is UTS. So what makes it come? Yeah, just tell us.
Yes, Praveen. So UTS College Sri Lanka is a fully owned entity of University of Technology, Sydney. So we are a fully owned campus, and we operate under the Australian standards. So that's one of the key things. And as well as which, as we mentioned earlier, the student support and the quality of education, that's our key priorities or case piece for us. So we make sure the quality standards, student support is at the highest level, and that's how I think we differentiate from our from other TNE providers, I would say. So we established ourselves in 2019, and it has been like 6 years now, and we have over 1,500 graduates who have gone to Australia. And if you look at education, all our students, when they start with us, they get access to UTS online library, access to student learning systems, and also additional learning support like Studio City and whatnot. So as a TNE, as a fully owned campus of University of Technology Sydney, one of the top 100 universities in the world, we make sure students get the best. And what we hear from our students, the feedback we get from our current and past students about the college life and the student support is amazing. That's something we are really proud of. The friendly staff and the academic, like our lecturers, well-qualified lecturers, supportive, and also the facilities that we provide to them. So these are the things that how we are different to some of the other TNEs in Sri Lanka. I'm not saying that other TNEs are not good as, they're not doing a good job. So all our Australian providers, all Australian TNEs, so the quality, the standards, they also try to maintain. But how we differentiate, how we have set our keys, and the key priorities are those. So we are well focused on the quality, the standards, and student support. That's how we try to deliver the best to our students.
Right. Thank you, Mr. Asta. It was a well detailed explanation for our audience. So, Mr. Sahat, I think UTS Sri Lanka is directly connected with UTS Sydney, right? So, education in UTS Sri Lanka, we believe that it is not only the theory in books. So, just tell us, can you please share how the pathway helps students build critical thinking, academic writing, as well as these independent learning skills needed for success at UTS Sydney? So we would like to hear from you.
Yes, as I told you earlier, our curriculum at UTS College Sri Lanka is a mirror image of UTS Sydney's programs. So these programs are specifically designed to build these core skills. So if you take critical thinking, as I told you earlier, we use problem-based learning and real-world examples. So this encourages our students to think, to analyze, to compare, and to debate the ideas. This is what happens when they transition to Sydney. So we are preparing them here. In terms of academic writing, that's an issue most of the students have here in Sri Lanka, especially students coming out of local school curricula. So how do we improve academic writing? This is done through dedicated sessions on structuring arguments and evidence-based learning and evidence-based writing. And we also provide them with a lot of online resources for them to learn and to improve their academic writing. And we have seen during the course of their study here in Sri Lanka, students improve vastly on academic writing because of the process that they go through. So in terms of the last point you raised, that is regarding what was it again? What was the last point you raised?
So it was independent learning skills.
Yes.
Actually, yeah.
We boost independent learning through, we have self-driven projects and study groups. And again, we provide them with online resources for them to reflect and to think about their time management. So we have seen by the time the students graduate here in Sri Lanka, they are not just ready to go to Australia, but they are equipped to excel independently in Australia. I think that's the biggest achievement that we have made at UTS College. We are preparing students to excel in one of the top universities in the world.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Saad. So, ladies and gentlemen, with that note, we are heading to the next section on the topic of advice to prospective students and parents, and we are starting with Ms. Ketaki. So, Ms. Ketaki, just tell us what advice would you give Sri Lankan students who are considering Australia but are unsure about starting overseas immediately?
Yes, when they are considering Australia, but if they're still unsure about studying, I say this would be the best option for them, because most of the students who are coming to us are soon after their O-levels or the A-levels. So most of the students are just 15 or 16 years old when they are starting with us. So these students have sufficient time because they can do the foundation and diploma both. So it's good 16 months. So they do have sufficient time to get mature enough with academically and personally. And also they get the taste of Australian education system because they are just school leavers. So they can understand how the Australian education, the university system works. As Sahad and Haste explained, we have a lot of the Sri Lankan education system and Australian education system are a bit different. So they can get adjust with the new education system. Not only that, when it comes to the Australian High Commission and the government, they also have their own requirements if someone is under 18. Because they have to go ahead with a legal guardian, or else they should stay with a blood relative, or else they have to stay in a government approved accommodation. So when it comes to this process, UTS College Sri Lanka, our visa advisory team, will provide you proper guidance how to book the accommodation, what are the required documents, and how to get this done smoothly. So this will be one of the major advantage that our parents and the students are having. And I would proudly say that so far we have sent more than 300 students to Australia from UTS College Sri Lanka to UTS University Technology Sydney, and 3 batches are already graduated, as Hassan said, with first class honours and second upper and extensions. Also, they are now really do their career well in Sydney, Australia.
Yeah, I think we had a well detailed explanation on that. So, Mr. Hajita, I would like to ask from you now, when it comes to the current context, or even in the earlier times also, we had that confusion with our students, right? So the confusion was something like this: how students can get the Australian studying experience while learning locally. So how UTS manage this? Just tell us.
Yes. So there are a few things. For example, the learning model is totally different to what our students have experienced before. So they go through this continuous assessment model and also examinations as well in general, and learning in terms of academic. How they are prepared. It's basically through close support, and also when it comes to the assessment model, you have to go through assignments, presentations, group work, as well as quizzes, likewise. So these models, these assessment models, are quite new to our students, because in Australian education system, it's more hands-on, more practical, and make sure that you get the right academic skills and the life skills, and prepare you as a employable graduate or job-ready graduate. So these things, the first foundation or the diploma program we deliver here is the first step to that. So you in the foundation program for students who are after O-levels, it's a very good preparation program. It's a very general foundation that we offer, so students can go into different pathways after completing the foundation. They can go into engineering, business, IT, or sciences, and then select their first year in diploma, either business, IT, engineering, or sciences. So the year 1 is also a general year. It's not specialized. So when I say it's not specialized, if you select diploma IT, students can go into AI, data analytics, cybersecurity, and networking, information systems management, and then interaction design, these kind of majors. So the year 1 is bit of a taste. They get a bit of taste on all these areas, little bit, and then they can select their specialization when they're transferring to Australia to start the second year with. So this is how they are well prepared in order to start their Australian university degree, the second part of it in Australia.
Right. So, ladies and gentlemen, with that note, we are moving to the next section on the topic of student experience and transition to Australia. So, Mr. Saad, we would like to start from you. So, tell us, how does UTS College Sri Lanka prepare students emotionally, academically, and culturally for life in Australia? Because we know that is not kind of very simple process. It has to go through a lot of processes. Just tell us how UTS manage this situation.
If I tell you very simply, we take a holistic approach. So academically, as I told you earlier, our curriculum aligns 100% with UTS Sydney's programs. So we cover that in that sense. Emotionally, we provide students with peer mentoring and workshops. So students get an idea of what to expect and what are the challenges to expect when they transition to Australia. And culturally, we provide them with sessions on Australian life, customs, and sometimes in our classes, we have casual conversations to improve English fluency. So what we try to do is to equip them with not just to survive, but to excel in Australia. I think if you take the past 6 years, we have done that tremendously, and we have seen the results over the years.
Yeah, thank you. So, Ms. Ketaki, now we have a separate, a fresh set of students who are stepping into the next level of the higher education. So, we would like to hear from you. Why should students seriously consider UTS College Sri Lanka as a smart, safe, and academically strong first step? Just tell us. Yeah.
Yeah. When it comes to the visa aspects, Australian High Commission has 3 main criteria. Their student study intention, academic readiness, and the financial capacity. So when it comes to the study intention, it's since they are going ahead with the diploma the first year, we have already proved that they have a good study intention, and academically also they are ready. And since we are educating them from the day one, they can really plan their financials also. So this is one of the key advantage that parents are having, because we will be ready them for the visa application from the beginning. And of course, I'm proud to say that we have a very good, very high visa success rate at UTS College Sri Lanka. And also, we provide pre-departure event for our students. This is done by the collaboration of UTS College Sri Lanka and University Technology Sydney. Here we are giving all the valuable information that they need when they arrive in Australia. The orientation program, academic requirements, how the living standards and the accommodation, everything we will be discussing in this event. Also, we will be giving them a SIM card and Opal card, which provide them the access for this public transport at the before they leave from UTS College. And also, we have a student society in University Technology Sydney. This is done by the senior students at UTS. So more than 200 students are now members. They also gave the particular guidance for our students about the job, like finding the part-time jobs, and also the internship opportunities, and whatever the support that they need in Australia, our senior students are happy to help them with that. Not only that, even your child going after the Australia, we still have the connection. We will be keeping touch with them, and we are very happy to give them the assistance, any support if they really need when they are in Australia.
Right. Thank you very much. So, ladies and gentlemen, with that note, we are moving to the next section of the panel discussion, which is based on outcomes, employability, and global exposure. So, I would like to hear from Mr. Hasida. Mr. Hasida, how does studying under an Australian curriculum enhance global employability and career prospects? How you all are doing this in UTS Sri Lanka?
Yes, Praveen. As we discussed earlier as well, the employability of an Australian graduate is quite high. The reasons are the hands-on, practical, up-to-date curriculum that they study. For example, at UTS, it's not just the academic panel who design the curriculum. They get the industry experts from different industries to come and sit with them in the panel and get their feedback. For example, what kind of an employee they need for the next 5 years or in the next 10 years, right? What kind of skills they need, what kind of soft skills, what kind of technical skills they need. They do ask these questions, get feedback. Based on their feedback, they keep updating the curriculum. So that's one of the reasons why UTS is within the top 5 for graduate employability in Australia and 62nd in the world. We are quite a young university. UTS is a young university, around 39 years old. We are within the 50 years old category. But we have come up in the graduate employability rankings very fast. That's because the preparation, up-to-date curriculum, and the hands-on, the practical knowledge that University of Technology Sydney provides to its students. So in general, Australian universities, Australian education is something, their key priorities are that. So they want to produce a employee who are, or a student or a graduate who are employable as well as job ready and ready to take up the future challenges.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Hasith. So, Mr. Sahad, so I would like to more elaborate on this transition to Australia, right? So, on that context, we would like to know what kind of guidance or counseling do students receive before transferring to UTS Sydney?
I think my two colleagues here, they do a great job in that. I think Kethi explained that very well. We have a student support team. They provide pre-departure counseling, so they communicate everything from visa application to packing and to academic planning. We also run transition workshops and connect our students with the alumni who have already made the move to Australia. So what we give our students is, we prepare our students not just to sustain, but we empower them, and we try to make them connected with our alumni there. So this way we help them to excel. And we have seen the results over the years where our students have excelled very well after transferring to Australia.
Right. Okay. So thank you very much, panel. So with that note, we are coming to the closing of direct questions from the panel. So before having the final, I would like to say final advice from each of you. I would like to ask from the physical audience if there is any questions to the panel. Or I think because we can't get the questions from the online audience, it is stuck at the moment because we have a lot of people engaged with our social media platforms. But from the physical audience, if any questions to the panel, there are 2 to 3 minutes for that. Right. So, ladies and gentlemen, we'll go to the closing note of the panel discussion. The first panel discussion on the second day of edX Expo 2026 with UTS College Sri Lanka. So, I would like to give 1 minute to each of the distinguished guests. So, what is the final message or final advice which you all are like to give to our students in Sri Lanka today?
Yes. So my personal advice would be as a part of UTS College Sri Lanka, when you're selecting a pathway, always look at 2 things, your capabilities and your passion. So you have to have a passion to what you're going to do, what you're going to select, as well as you have to be capable. You have to have the capacity to do that. So select your program and then where you want to study. Let's say if you're looking at studying in Australia, a transnational education pathway would be an ideal option to start with. So if you need any advices or support, you can always reach us online, or you can come and meet us at the campus, and we are more than happy to give you advices, support, even though you do not select our pathway, but we are happy to guide you, support you. And my advice to all students is select something that you really love doing, so you will definitely excel in that pathway.
Thank you, Mr. Asta. We would like to hear from Mr. Ketaki as well.
Yes, I would say that this transnational education pathway will be one of the best investment that any parent can do for their children's higher education and the future, because they can ultimately graduate from a top 100 university in the world, and also they can be definitely get ready for the global job market, not only in Australia, not only in Sri Lanka, but they will be well prepared for the global job market.
Thank you very much. So, Mr. Assad.
Yes, as my two colleagues echoed, what I would like to communicate to our students here in Sri Lanka is we have seen a lot of students, their motive is either the PR or the money that comes after the job. But we always ask our students to follow their passion. So if their passion lies in something, if they can do that, I think they'll be successful no matter where they go in the world. And as Ms. Ketaki echoed, transnational education is a great opportunity for all the students in Sri Lanka to experience international level education right here in Sri Lanka. So I welcome all of them to come to UTS College, experience our education, and be successful in your life.
Thank you very much. So, with that note, we are coming to the closing of the first panel discussion at edX Expo 2026 at BMICH. So, dear panelists, thank you very much for being with us and spending your valuable time with us. And on behalf of entire edX team, I would like to express our deepest gratitude for this meaningful collaboration. Thank you very much. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for being a part of this insightful session. So today we highlighted how transnational pathways, especially through UTS College Sri Lanka, offer a structured, risk-reduced, and academically strong route into Australian higher education. So it's a pathway that balances quality, affordability, and long-term career opportunity. For parents, it offers a peace of mind. For students, it opens a world of possibilities. So with that note, we are closing the first panel discussion for the day. Thank you very much for being with us and enjoy the rest of the edX. Thank you very much.